Hey, this is John Sellers with EXP, and today I'm going to answer the question, what should your schedule look like? I get agents coming to me multiple times a week saying they've got so much on their plate and they're overwhelmed. And one of the first things I ask them is, "What does your schedule look like?" And I get a blank look on their face. And one of the most important things that successful agents do is they manage their time. And one of the ways they do that is with a tight schedule and blocking their schedule. When you're in a 9 to 5 job, they decide what your schedule is going to look like. The boss does. But the moment you become self employed as an agent, all of a sudden you can do anything anytime you want. And your family all of a sudden decides, boy, you've got flexibility. Maybe you should go pick up the dog. You know what? Now that you're self employed, you've got to be more critical with your time because whether you make it work or not work is going to be the difference on how much money and whether you make it in this business. So let's go and talk about what I mean by that. So in your day, we like to block out what the most important things are. And you've really got about 4 or 5 things. The first is you've got prospecting and lead generation. You've got follow up with escrows and clients. You've got listing appointments and showing appointments. And then you got paperwork, of course. So how do we break these in and block them out and chunk them so that you can actually be more effective and totally focused on that? So the number one thing of successful agents is they block out time for prospecting and lead generation. And as our market is changing, it is becoming more and more critical right now because we're going to have less transactions, but there's also more agents. But most agents aren't willing to do this hard work. So I recommend you have your morning ritual and you get to the office at 8 o'clock and you block out from 8 to 11 for prospecting. Now, why do I say to do that first? Is to understand that really when you look at it, willpower is a limited resource. It's not easy to do that at the end of the day. And if you think about it, it's proven that we have a certain amount of time where we can focus hard. And that is going to be critical of getting it set up. So we've got 8 to 11. 11 to 12, do some follow-up with paperwork. 12 to 1, some lunch. And then in the afternoon, this is when we show houses, we do listing appointments, we do paperwork. And you might want to chunk that down as your day goes. But those are easy to do. It doesn't take the same focus to show houses and do paperwork. The other thing is you're going to want to make sure that you block your phone calls. Agents are going to be calling you all during that prospecting time, and they want to interrupt you. They want to make their urgency your urgency. Trust me, if you don't return their calls for a couple hours, most of the time they'll have solved the problem. Now, if you go down in our blog here, you're going to see that we've given a sample schedule. Now, the last piece of this is to realize that schedule will make the difference of success. And Gary Keller talks about the one thing. So I would ask you to be thinking, what is the one thing, if you did this in your business every day, is going to make everything simpler or irrelevant? And that is that time blocking of those first 3 hours of total focus of reaching and creating your pipeline. So, hey, I hope this helped. And if you'd like to schedule a one-on-one call to go over this and what it might look like for you or a business strategy session, just go ahead and hit the button and I'd be happy to do it. Again, I'm John Sellers and I hope this helped.